Sushi, are you ready to make a video? You are ready to make a video? Did you, good girl? Cheese. What do you think? Sushi, I see your tail wagging. You're a good girl. Hey everybody, it's Allie. And before I get back to reading Onyx Storm tonight, which I've been doing every day since it came out because I have to hurry up and read it before people start posting spoilers, because this is the world that we've come to with TikTok and YouTube and all the shenanery. I am wearing my Andarna shirt. For those of you who don't know, she is an awesome dragon in this book series. And if you're not familiar with it, it is the, what is it? Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, Onyx Storm, 3-book series. Anyway, enough about that. Let's talk about you. So I am going to be reading off some questions and things that were submitted to me, and I'm going to be offering you my opinion. And of course, I'm not a doctor. So you definitely always want to talk to your doctor. That's a given. So we're just going to assume that for the rest of this video. But I am going to give you any advice that I can. I got a lot of submissions, so bear with me because some of these are really fantastic. I lost 45 pounds in 2 years on Mounjaro. In the last 2 months, I gained 20 pounds. The only changes I've made is I've stopped tracking food and stopped exercising. Did 15 milligram Mounjaro stop working? So this is a really great question, and I love that it was the very first question because I feel like this is a really important topic. First and foremost, did the medication stop working? No. No, the medication did not stop working. We need to remind ourselves, regardless of why we were prescribed a GLP1, that these medications are endocrine peptides, okay? I know we talk about them like they're weight loss medications, but they're not. The weight loss is technically considered a side effect. Is it a great side effect? Yes. Do we love it? Are we here for it? My 106 pounds that I lost says abso-freaking-lutely. But we need to remember that the essence of what these medications are doing in our body, reducing inflammation, controlling blood sugar, right, and the list goes on, those functions continue to work even if you stop losing weight. Now, this person specifically has stopped tracking food and stopped exercising. So I think that it is safe to say that the culprit is not the medication. What's likely happened here, and this is purely my speculation, is that the side effects of the Mounjaro, right? The increased satiety, the reduction in food noise, right? The reduced appetite, those side effects have started to subside the longer you stay on a dose. And so now you've gotten used to it. And all of those things were helping you, right, to maintain your weight loss before. Now you've stopped tracking your food, so you don't know how many calories you're consuming, so we can't look at what you're eating, and you've stopped exercising. So not only are you not tracking what you're consuming, so we don't know if there's an excess of calories, but you're also not burning as many calories as you were before. So if you were tracking before and burning calories, right, now you're not tracking, you're not burning calories, it's likely that you are in an excess of calories, which is why you're starting to gain weight. And this is a common misconception in the GLP-1 community, that you can't gain weight on these medications. Listen, if you are in an excess of calories, you will gain weight. Okay, my sister lost weight on Ozempic, then she got to the highest dose, started eating fast food again. She ended up gaining her weight back. Now I am on Mounjaro for type 2 diabetes and have lost weight. At a family gathering, someone asked me how I lost the weight, and before I could answer, she blurted out, "You shouldn't be asking her anything. She didn't do anything to lose the weight and will gain it all back." So it sounds to me like your sister is really struggling on many fronts. And while this interaction was certainly hurtful and you should discuss it with her, it's also a great opportunity to set boundaries, right? And remind your sister that your sister wouldn't want you commenting about her weight and how she got there. And so it is equally inappropriate for her to be commenting on yours. Always good to set boundaries with family. You don't have to be cruel about it, especially in this situation, because it sounds to me like the sister is struggling. I'm just making up words today. Listen, we're gonna put that on a shirt. Man, we struggling. I think I just made up a really cool word. It sounds like your sister is struggling, like I am struggling to get the words out. So, you know, we want to be aware of that and try not to take outbursts like this to heart. Although what she said was absolutely inappropriate, and you are well within your rights to lay the smackdown on your sister, should you choose to. Okay, I asked my doctor to switch me from Wegovy to Zepbound. Doctor's response: it's doubtful that changing to Zepbound will make much of a difference. These meds have their limitations for weight loss, and people plateau between 8 to 10% lost. Okay, step 1. Find a new doctor, because this one is clueless. Step 2, I'd love to know where they got that people plateau between 8 and 10% lost. Where was that study done? That sounds like, if it is happening to people, it sounds like they're not getting the proper support that they need from their medical team, right? So, or maybe those people are plateauing because of, you know, insurance meddling in the doses, right? We've all heard about that, where they force you to go up, force you to go down, force you to go all around town, right? Like, let's just calm down with all of that. So I don't like this at all. And if my doctor had said that to me, not only would I have laughed hysterically, I would definitely be firing that doctor. Okay. Moving on to the next. Frustrated with my doctor, because this is like everybody. The past 3 months, she has aggressively been trying to increase my dose each month, to the point of sending me the wrong prescription and making me jump through hoops to get the smaller dose. I've successfully lost 102 pounds on smaller doses. Every month is a battle. Why? Especially when I've had so much success. So there are probably a few things at play here. One, your doctor may be clueless, right? That's just the unfortunate truth. 2, your doctor may want to phase out GLP1 patients from their practice, right? So unfortunately, we are seeing this more and more in the GLP-1 community, where doctors are setting arbitrary limits, right? They'll only prescribe up to 7.5. They'll only prescribe for diabetics. They'll only prescribe until you lose a certain percentage of weight, and then they just kick you out, right? It's really problematic. So if your doctor is this aggressively trying to increase your dose, and you've talked to them about it and explained, hey, doc, my insurance is not making me go up in dose, I'm not going to do it. If they continue to push it, then I would just find a new doctor, right? Because remember, they work for you, and you have to advocate for yourself. And they're obviously trying to push you out, right? Because once you reach a certain point, right? You're going to stop losing weight. You're going to stop, right? And the doctors, they don't want to deal with this. They don't want to deal with the PAs. They don't want to deal with the denials, the rejections, the peer-to-peer reviews. They don't want to deal with, you know, the constant shortages and it's in and it's not, and it, you know, move from this pharmacy to the next, right? They're just over it. So it sounds to me like your doctor is trying to get rid of their GLP-1 patients, which, you know, is unfortunate. A lot of pharmacies are using that same tactic. You know, they make you miserable. They, you know, take forever to fill prescriptions, tell you it's in shortage when, you know, the companies say that it's not. Yeah, we all know how that's at. Okay. Lily needs to create a plan for maintenance. Trying to find a stable solution is the Wild West out here, and doctors are clueless. Okay, so this is a very good point. And I think that it is something that the pharmaceutical companies will look into in the future. I don't think it's going to be the immediate future because, yes, there's a lot of nuance to maintenance, but I think that they're just relying on doctors and patients to figure it out. But I think that if they do put the time in to do research so that there's some sort of maintenance plan, I imagine it will be similar to the titration plan that they already have in place, right? Where it's supposed to be a one-size-fits-all that really doesn't fit all, right? Some people are microdosing, some people are splitting doses, some people, you know, go down in dose and they titrate all the way down. Some people continue to titrate up. Some people spread out their shots from 7 days to 10 days to 14 days, right? Like, the variety in maintenance has come about because of the variety of people that are taking GLP-1s. So do I want them to come out with plans for maintenance? Absolutely, because it will stop insurance companies from kicking you off of the medication, right, once you lose a certain amount of weight. So I think that they need to do it, but at the same time, it's not really in the best interest of their bottom line to do it right now. Okay, I read that the appetite suppression stops after 18 to 24 months on a GLP-1. Is that true? So again, this is an extremely subjective question. Can this happen to you? Yes. Can it happen to you at any dose? Yes. The longer you are on a dose, right, the more you're going to get used to it, the more you're going to, you know, those side effects are going to subside. And like we said earlier, these are endocrine medicines, so the medicine will continue to work as long as you take it. But you may not get those side effects, right, that we're all currently enjoying. And when I say that we're enjoying, I mean the satiety, the appetite suppression, right? I'm not talking about nausea, sulfur burps. Nobody's enjoying that. I feel so defeated. 2 months ago, my boyfriend broke up with me because of my weight. Sounds like you dropped a lot of weight, a lot of dead weight on that one. So glad he's gone. Now he's getting married. 2 months and he's getting married? Yeah, he was cheating on you. Stop it. I feel so demotivated right now. Okay, first of all, sending you hugs and love, because that's horrible. Second of all, 2 months and he's getting married. He's either lying to try to make you upset, which it sounds like you are, or he was cheating on you, in which case you don't want to be stuck with him anyway. Either way, you need to focus on your GLP-1 health journey and forget about anybody else. I don't care if it's your boyfriend, I don't care if it's your husband, I don't care if it's your wife, I don't care if it's your mom, your dad, your Uncle Joe. It does not matter. If you have people in your life that are not being supportive of your GLP-1 health journey, kick them to the curb, okay? And I'll be standing there at the curb waiting for them with a box. And I'll say, here you go. You put all your stuff in the box because you've been fired. You're fired. Okay. I'm kind of over it all, y'all, posting your weight loss due to diet and exercise, but not that weekly injection. Oh, this one's going to be fun. When you start omitting this info, it makes others feel like failures. Welcome to our life. Because diet and exercise is not working for them. Oh, well, then they should get on a GLP-1. I'm sure it's none of my business. You damn right. But you made it my business when you clogged my feed with your false narrative. Listen, I wish I had a name to go with this, right? Listen, Linda. Negative Nancy. We're going to throw out all the names. Listen, Patrick A1 Sauce. As soon as it's safe in our society for people who are using GLP-1 medications to better their health and better their lives, then people will not be omitting the fact that they're taking a medication. But just like you pinpointed in your comment, it's none of your business. Period. End of statement. Thanks for playing. Don't come back. Okay. What did you say? What do you say to someone who has lost a lot of weight on Ozempic and they look drained and awful? You don't. You don't. You don't say anything. Going back to that, it's not any of your business. Okay? You wouldn't want them commenting on your weight, right? If you gained 20 pounds, right? Like that other commenter previously, you don't want them commenting on that. So don't tell people that you know are on the medication. Don't tell them they look drained and awful. You keep those thoughts to yourself, okay? You know, Sally at work that, you know, brought around the pictures of her baby, and it was like, it looked like an alien, right? And you're like, oh, your baby's so cute. I'm so happy for you. And you're like praying they grow out of it. Okay. It's one of those situations. You don't poo-poo on somebody else's parade. Okay. You just put on a smile and you're like, hey, how's it going? I love your shirt, right? Let's stop talking about other people's bodies. And don't say anything about Sally's ugly baby. Okay. I'm worried about drinking alcohol. A fair amount of our weekends are spent with friends drinking. I'm not an alcoholic. If you say so. But I'm worried about what to do in these situations. Okay, so this is gonna come across a little bit harsh from me. And if you are a regular alcohol consumer, then please just take this with a grain of salt. If you're worried about how to handle a situation with friends where you're not going to be drinking alcohol, then you really, really need to think about that. You need to think about, are these people actually your friends? Do you enjoy their company? And I'm not saying this to be mean. I'm saying that there are so many people who make posts like this. And my first thought is, do you have to drink alcohol in order to hang out with your friends? Is it that integrated into your friendship group that if you're not drinking alcohol, it's going to be a problem? Are they going to shame you? Are you going to feel left out? These are legitimate things, and I'm not getting a dig at anybody who feels those things. I'm saying you need to think about that. Because you certainly can drink alcohol while on a GLP-1 medication. I'm not saying that you can't. If you haven't done so already, then if you're going to do it, I highly recommend that you choose a time frame in which you can test it and you're okay to like be sick for a few days afterwards, right? So maybe like a Friday after work or whatever. So if you're sick all weekend, you're like, okay, never mind, don't do that again, because people, it's like 50-50. Some people can do it, they're perfectly fine, right? Others, they get horribly sick. So you won't know which category you fall into until you give it a try. But my concern is for the psychological aspect of these questions, and specifically how they're worded. Because if somebody said to me, hey, Allie, you are on this medication and you can't drink alcohol, and then you're going to go out with your friends, I'd be like, okay, great. No problem. I think I think we're good. I'm excited to see them, right? Like, the alcohol doesn't have anything to do with my friendship. It makes me wonder if people are like going through high school and college and like they're frat boys, and then they're on the weekend, they're just getting trashed. And so they're like, oh, everybody's going to be trashed except me, and I'm going to feel weird. Yeah, that's called being the DD. Okay? Be a good friend. All right. I was at a work dinner. This is already going badly. I was at a work dinner and they brought up injections for weight loss. I've lost 40 pounds, but no one's noticed. I told myself that I would be honest about taking the meds to help others, but in this moment, I panicked and said nothing, which is the correct answer. Do not feel bad about this, okay? And I'm going to tell you why. Because of the 5th word in your post. I was at a work dinner. If you're new to my channel, there is one place that I tell you, you do not talk about GLP1s. It's work. Work people are not your friends. I know you think they are because you spend most of your time during the day with them. They're not your friends. Okay? So, don't talk about it at work. So this person said nothing. They were making fun of people on the meds, making like a shot in the arm, like a heroin joke, and it felt horrible. I'm so sorry that that happened to you. You made the right choice by not saying anything. It was a work dinner, right? Work people, not your friend. Clients, not your friends, okay? I saw another one just here recently where somebody was like, my hairdresser said that, she was talking to another hairdresser and she said she's not going to take people that are on GLP-1s anymore because they keep losing hair. And so she's losing out on business. And I was like, do you have any idea how quickly I would have got up out of that chair and been like, okay, you said it, not me, sister. You don't want my business? Bye-bye. I just can't believe people. But anyway, yeah, work, not the place to talk about medications, right? Just like you wouldn't talk about religion, you don't talk about politics. Work is work. You go to work so you get paid, so you can get your medicine, you can lose your weight, you can be happy, okay? It's not to talk about it at work. Okay, I called to get the refill on my 2.5. My doctor sent in 5. I called back and asked for 2.5. My doctor said the way the med works is you do 1 month at 2.5, 1 month at 5, then you go to 7.5 and stay there. You know what's really sad about this is not the first time I've heard of this. I don't know where doctors got this in their head. I don't know what they are basing this off of, if it's anecdotal in their practice or just what they feel like, or maybe it was because of the shortages and they were trying to keep people like on doses that were available. I don't know where it came from, but it's garbage and you need to get a new doctor immediately. Like, get your medicine refilled at the dose that you want and get the hell out of there. I do not understand these doctors that place these arbitrary limits on things. It makes no sense. I lost a ton of weight on 2.5 for 13 weeks. Then I was on 5 forever and lost a ton of weight. This is how you set your patients up for failure, in my opinion. You titrate them up too fast. You make them stop and stay on arbitrary doses like 7.5. Are you kidding me right now? The number of people that say the 7.5 didn't do squat for them, myself included. Jeez. All right. Allie, that's me. Are there studies that suggest that you stay on each dose until you fail? No. If not, how does that impact your overall success when on a dose for only 1 month and then move up and stay at the highest dose to lose the most weight? Okay, I think I get what they're going for here. So, are there studies about what us, who have been on the medication for a while have recommended, which is you stay on each dose until you stop losing weight? No, there is no study. essentially what they did in the Surmount study was they had a limited amount of time to make points about what the medication can do, okay? They have requirements, they have limitations on funding, right? There are a lot of factors that go into a study. So just because there isn't a study doesn't mean that it's not sound advice, right? And if you need more information on how to, read these studies and then apply them to your own life, definitely go check out my video where I talk about, reading research studies and then extrapolating from them and applying it to your own life. So, how does that impact your overall success? Well, if you titrate up too quickly and your body gets accustomed to each dose, and then you get to the highest dose, which currently is 15 milligrams for Mounjaro or Zepbound, and you get used to that dose and stop losing weight, then you've just capped out. Tap. You're done. You tap out. Right? You keep taking the medication both to maintain your weight loss and, for other reasons as well. But I'm saying there is a limit to what the medication can do. And if you just fly through the doses, and there are plenty of people who have done it, because originally people thought that, oh, you hurry up and get to 15 so you can lose weight faster. That's not how the medication works. That is a common misconception in GLP1 land. That's not how it works. As a matter of fact, you may get to 15 and you may not lose any weight at all. You may get to 15, you may lose a ton of weight. There are some people who don't lose any weight until they get to 15, then they lose on their weight at 15, right? There are too many variables. So that was definitely a good one. Okay, was on Sema for 8 months at the highest dose, stopped losing. Doctor switched to Tirzepatide 12.5. Okay, that's a little high. And now I've been in the ER 2 times since starting it, and doctor says I can't take GLP-1 anymore. Okay, so first of all, your doctor's fired. Okay, that's not how it works. You don't go from the highest dose of Semaglutide to 12.5 Tirzepatide. Okay, I'm not a doctor, but I can tell you that. If I can find the little chart that shows, like what they recommend as far as jumping from Ozempic Wegovy, Semaglutide to Tirzepatide, I'll put it up on the screen. But yeah, you should have started out at a much, much lower dose. Okay, Semaglutide and Tirzepatide, not the same guy. Okay, 2 different guys. They're very similar. Okay, they come from the same family, not the same guy. So you can't just jump over like that. Now, could you have probably been okay at a much lower dose, but not necessarily at the starter dose? It depends on your body, but that's something that your doctor could have explored instead of sending you to the ER. I would be the ER 2 times. Good grief. I'd be sending him that bill and filing for malpractice. Just saying. What's the rationale for insurance to insist that people go up in dose every month? So part of this is the Surmount trial, because that is the fastest that people could handle going up in dose, right? It was 4 weeks, every 4 weeks. And part of this is because insurance companies don't want to cover the medication. So 30 to 35 people will have extreme side effects while going up in dose every month, and they will drop off of the medication and give up, or their doctor will take them off of it because of side effects. When in actuality, if they had just gone up slowly or even done microdosing, then they would have had 0 issues and potentially 0 side effects. But insurance companies don't want to cover it. Great question. Okay, I think we're coming down. Oh, we're at the last one. Okay, great. I've always stored each box of Zep on the counter, not in the fridge. Stop it. Stop. For the last box, I put it in the fridge. Oh, thank God. And I feel like each week was stronger and felt like the med took effect sooner. Okay. So can the medication stay out on the counter for 28 days? Yes. Should you do that? No. Never, ever, ever. Why? Well, there are a few reasons. First and foremost, we're always right around the corner from another freaking shortage. So if your medication is on the counter, you have to use it up in 28 days, which means that if you need to get another dose, if you need to change dose right in the middle of a month, any sort of change, you have now bound yourself to that box for the duration of that box because you can't put it back in the fridge. It doesn't work like that. Secondly, temperature matters. I've said it before, peptides, they are pretty princesses, and there's a pee in their bed, okay? So you got to get them just right. You got to keep them dark. You got to keep them right. Please do not pre-fill a bunch of your vials of GLP1s, right? If you've got vials and you're doing syringes, sorry, I'm getting tired. Don't pre-fill your syringes. Don't do that. Okay? Keep it in the vial, keep it in the fridge, or keep it in the pen, in the fridge, in the box. Don't take it out of the box. People they get crazy with this, okay? Can it make a difference in potency? Absolutely. Because you don't know how that medication was treated before it got to your door. If it's a compound, did it sit on a UPS truck or a FedEx truck for days before it got to you and get to room temperature, right? Same with these name brand medications we're getting at our pharmacy, right? Did they sit out on the counter for hours? I've seen people, post pictures of that. So it makes a difference. So please, store your medications in the fridge in the dark. Do not pre-fill syringes, and make sure that you're not leaving them out on the counter just because you can. That sort of thing is what you're going to be doing if you're traveling and you need to take one shot with you, right? Then it's reasonable to say, oh, okay, well, I don't have to keep this refrigerated while I, travel. Okay, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, give me a thumbs up. As always, if you're looking for a positive-only support group, I've got you covered. Link is in the description box below. If you would like to submit your questions, you can send them to me in an email. You can send it to me in the support group, or you can put them in the comments of this video. I read all of your comments. Did you like this video? Go hit that like button for me. It helps my channel. Did you subscribe? You didn't? Well, you gotta subscribe. Otherwise, you're gonna miss out on all the great information that I have on my channel that can help you on your health journey. Make sure you go watch some of my funny rant videos. And as always, be kind, rewind.